moral system compared to you. That's why I believe it. You obviously think you have a better moral system than I do. That's why you believe it.
Oh, what do you mean? I'm using your same moral system.
No, you aren't.
Yes, I am. Same moral system. It's bad because it's bad.
Okay, well, can we use your moral frame?
Okay, yeah, it's bad.
Good faith?
It's bad because it's bad, yes. Anything against my preferences.
Adultery is bad,
listen,
and you think adulterers should go to jail.
Yeah, let me demonstrate this
better. So you are
better.
in support of Donald Trump going to jail, right?
Yeah, unless, like I said, I would give clemency to everybody and start the slate clean, and then anybody in the future.
You have no real fucking morals, and you don't actually believe in anything you're saying.
What do you mean? Do you think that because I think abortion is bad intrinsically?
It's completely contradictory.
No, it's not. What's the contradiction? People get clemency for bad things all the time.
You said adultery is sinful. Therefore, people who commit adultery should go to jail. I asked you, should Donald Trump go to jail? No.
Yeah,
that is a contradiction.
No, I gave you a qualifier. The qualifier was because in my system, anybody who's ever committed adultery gets a clean slate.
We've already established that your moral framework is divine command theory.
No, we established my moral framework is whatever the fuck I think is
immoral.
Why is that bad?
Is unchanging.
Why is that bad?
Can you answer the question?
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll just bite that bullet too. Everything God says is bad.
You agree that
is bad. If God says, if God says grape is good, and He says that everything you think is bad is good, right? We should fucking do it. Tell me why that's wrong.
Because that would be in violation of people's personal.
Which is bad, right?
But I'm glad you bite the bullet I'm glad you bite the bullet that when God condones rape, genocide, slavery, murder, that's all cool to you just because God commands.
Can you change, real quick, Diddley, can you change what you think is intrinsically bad? Can you change that?
Can I change based on empirical evidence?
Yeah. So it would be logically possible then that you could change that things which were intrinsically bad now lined up with everything I thought was bad, right? Logically, that's possible.
Wait, what do you mean?
So everything, whatever it is you think that I want that's bad, it could be logically possible that if data appeared to you in a magic sheet that showed you that everything I wanted actually changed your mind to say, oh, wait, actually, that's everything he has preference against is intrinsically bad. Wouldn't you do it?
Sure, in a magical, hypothetical world that doesn't exist. But again, I like to live in reality. So.
Oh, you like to live in reality?
Yeah.
Where bad is bad because you say it's fucking bad, that's reality?
Do you disagree that suffering is intrinsically bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because people go to the gym and suffer.
I would disagree that that's called suffering.
Oh, you don't think that being in pain is suffering?
Well, the people I know who go to gym say it's a great pain and it feels awesome.
Yeah, and except for the people that it's not great for. And they still do it for their health, so they're definitely suffering to improve their health, and that doesn't seem very bad.
There are people who, get really harsh massages that hurt. This isn't the kind of suffering I'm referring to.
Oh, well, what kind of suffering are you referring to?
I'm referring to violation of someone's personal autonomy so long as it doesn't infringe on other people's personal autonomy. Yeah, but that's not
suffering. If that's the case,
well, no,
here, I'll explain. If that's the case, if you say that it's just a violation of personal autonomy, meaning that the person, are you just saying the person gets a yucky feeling? Is that what suffering is? What is
Do you agree that violating people's agency is
asking me fucking questions and
a detriment to their health?
No, it can't. It's not always detriment to their health.
You don't think violating people's agency is a detriment to their health?
Fuck no. If you were about to kill yourself, I would definitely kick the gun out of your hand and knock you unconscious. What did I do wrong?
Okay, so...
No, answer my fucking question for once. Holy shit. If you were about to kill yourself,
I was about to. Would you like me to answer?
And I kicked the gun out of your hand and knock you unconscious, didn't I violate your autonomy?
Would you like me to answer?
Didn't I violate your autonomy? Didn't I violate your autonomy?
So there are certain harms that we deem acceptable and some that are unacceptable?
No, you said it's intrinsically bad.
Killing yourself is obviously...
Let's let her answer.
Killing yourself is obviously a harm that we wouldn't want, even if someone is, they feel like it would make them happy if they killed themselves. Obviously, they're mentally ill.
Then autonomy isn't violating autonomy.
Help that person.
Then You just got caught in an actual contradiction, which is this.
No, I haven't, because I've been very
violating-
consistent
if
from
you
the very beginning.
violate somebody's
I've been
autonomy,
very consistent from the
stop,
very
my turn,
beginning.
my turn. You said if you violate somebody's autonomy, that's intrinsically bad. If that's the
No.
my turn. If it's the case that it's intrinsically bad, and then you would still violate it for some other reason, then it can't be fucking intrinsically bad, can it, doofus?
Okay, so that's not what I said. I said suffering is intrinsically bad.
Oh,
And also I've mentioned
not
like,
autonomy.
from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah, even though you said autonomy 4 times.
No, I've said from the beginning that
No.
obviously there are some
Would you like
points
to
where
hear
we
yourself?
like violate someone's personal autonomy
Yeah.
for the greater good, or because
Yeah.
they are infringing on other people's autonomy.
I'll ask the
I've been very
Crucible.
consistent
Yeah, I'll ask
from
the
that from
Crucible.
the
The
very
Crucible will send me the clip right now. Send me the clip real quick of her saying it's intrinsically bad to violate somebody's personal autonomy. Go ahead and send me
I've
the
said
clip.
from the very
I'm gonna
beginning
play the clip for you, and then when I do, will you
that
concede?
we do violate people's personal autonomy is in the case where they are infringing on someone
Then
else's
it can't be
autonomy.
intrinsically bad.
That's why I said suffering is
No,
intrinsically
but
bad.
so if I show you a clip of you saying autonomy is intrinsically bad, did you just misspeak?
Yeah, if that clip
Oh,
exists.
okay. So suffering's intrinsically bad then.
Yes.
Okay, and what is suffering? Because you said it's
Suffering.
violating personal autonomy. I just want to let you know. But anyway, go ahead. What is suffering?
Suffering is like any negative outcome based on someone's well-being.
What? That's any negative outcome based on someone's well-being. Is that actually what you think suffering is? You might want to revise that. Just think about it for 2 seconds here. You really think suffering is a negative outcome based on somebody's well-being?
Well, suffering is like multifaceted. Like there's lots of ways
Then
we
what
can
is
go
it?
about
Then
this.
just tell me what it is from your view. What is suffering?
Basically a detriment to someone's well-being.
Okay, so if that's the case, a detriment to somebody's well-being, the person themselves is going to be the one who chooses that, right? What is detrimental to their well-being?
Not necessarily, again, because like if someone wants to off themselves or they want to like harm themselves in some way, and that's
Then it can't just then it can't be just something that's detrimental to somebody's well-being unless
sure.
you
Like I said, they're like,
then
there are other
otherwise
things.
well, okay, then what is it?
and it is like highly subjective from person to person as well.
So then what
Like
is it?
for example, like it would be really bad if pornography got banned, as someone who watches it and enjoys it myself, which would lead to suffering. But for you, that wouldn't lead to suffering. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
So then suffering, so then if it is the case, then that suffering actually is not intrinsically bad, right?
What do you mean?
Well, it's a subjective variable. So, I mean, you don't think it's intrinsically bad.
No, well, the things that cause suffering are subjectives.
You being a prostitute causes me suffering, or is that bad? Intrinsically?
Wait, that's not what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm
what are you saying?
Suffering is intrinsically bad.
Yeah, you being a prostitute caused me to suffer. Is that bad?
The feeling of suffering is bad, yes.
Then
It's bad that you're suffering.
Then shouldn't you stop being a prostitute so I stop suffering?
No.
That's another contradiction. What?
Wait, no, it isn't.
So then I thought you said it's intrinsically bad. Suffering's
Yes,
intrinsically bad.
wait, what? Yes, as in like the feeling of suffering in itself is intrinsically bad. That's what I mean by intrinsically.
Oh, okay. So just the feeling of suffering is bad.
Yes.
Okay. So anything which causes me to have a bad feeling that I'm suffering is bad.
No.
What?
Suffering
Wait,
in
what?
itself. Suffering in itself
Who
is
determines?
a bad feeling.
Who determines what is suffering other than the person?
That's not the question. That's not what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
well,
say.
it has
When
to be. If I'm the
suffering is
person who
bad,
determines what is suffering,
okay, do you agree pleasure is good and suffering is bad?
no, I haven't even determined
But
what that is.
pleasure doesn't feel good?
Well,
pleasure
when you
doesn't
say
feel good?
you're making category error here. When you say good here, when you say does this taste good?
It makes us feel
Yeah,
good.
when you say does
Yes.
this taste good, right? for this case, you're asking a different question than is this morally good, which is what I'm asking. I'm not asking if something tastes good. I'm asking if it is morally good. So what I'm asking you is, what is suffering? Like when I ask you what is bad, you keep on deviating. First it was what is bad is intrinsically it's violating personal autonomy.
Well, no, I think we just had
stop 1
a
second.
misunderstanding because you thought I was saying it's
Okay.
bad morally when I was just
if you
saying
think we
it's
just had
bad, obviously. That's what intrinsic
Wait, it's
means.
not. It's not. Wait, it's not immoral.
What do you think intrinsic means?
It means as part of the thing itself. The thing itself,
Yes.
and as a baseline in the thing itself, it is X.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So that's not making a moral statement.
Oh, it's not. So then so then I just want to know this. What is morally bad?
In my worldview, violating people's personal autonomy.
Oh.
So long as
I thought you
they're
said
not
you didn't say
infringing
that.
on other people's... What?
Well, you just said earlier that you never said that violating people's personal autonomy was bad.
Did you not hear the last part?
No, I guess I didn't. What?
So, if you are infringing on someone else's personal autonomy and you violated the social contract, we can take away some of your personal freedoms, for example, incarceration, for the greater good of society.
And what's the social contract?
Utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism is a social contract?
Well, it's the one that we're working under, yeah, in reality.
And it's okay, so the social contract is utilitarianism, utilitarianism being to limit harm.
Maximizing, yeah, well-being, limiting harm.
Okay, so just to back up, just to make sure I get this right, anything which does not maximize well-being and limit harm would be immoral.
Anything that doesn't maximize well-being.
Yeah.
Well, this would circle back to, like, if you're infringing on someone else's personal autonomy,
so
then in that case,
is anything
you can limit your personal freedoms.
So then is anything which violates personal autonomy, is that bad?
Like, just anything in general, not necessarily.
I still haven't figured out what bad is here.
So, I've mentioned this multiple times. I don't know how many more times I can say it.
I'll explain it so that you understand. If you say violation of personal autonomy is bad, unless X, right, then I'm still not sure what bad is and what a violation of personal autonomy would be that is bad. And then if you switch and say it's if you violate it within the realm of like suffering and that's bad, then I need to know what suffering is so that I can determine. I'm just trying to consistently check as to what bad is. You just keep saying, you just keep shifting it from suffering to some type of like self-governance authority. Like I'm still not actually sure. I'm still not actually sure what bad means here. So, can you violate people's autonomy? Is that just sometimes? You think sometimes we can?
Yes, we can.
And can you limit people's access to hedonic activity? And is that always bad?
Is that always bad? No.
Okay.
You just asked two questions.
So all those things are not bad. So I'm asking what is bad?
So there is a certain level of harm that is acceptable in society. Well, that's like the grey line, isn't it?
So
obviously, as I mentioned, fast food is something that kills obesity, more specifically, kills 300,000 people a year in America alone. But
so society is making the determination actually of what is bad then in your worldview.
Well, we're making like the legal decisions because of democracy.
Well, that doesn't help me understand what bad is here. Like that literally doesn't help me understand what bad is when you say, well, there's.
Can we actually understand why you want to ban pornography in the first place? You keep pivoting away from that.
No, I'll tell you again because it's against my preference.
Every time it comes back to like the original question and you defending your affirmative position, you don't want to engage.
I literally am defending my affirmative position. Are you ready? Here's my argument. I'm going to give you my argument against pornography. Everything that's against my preference is fucking bad. I want to ban pornography
is solely based on like what God tells you to do.
Sure.
God told you to rape someone, would you?
Let's just bite all the bullets. I'll do whatever God says because it's within my preference. Now, why is that
So
bad?
God tells you to commit genocide, you'll do it. You'll murder everyone. You'll rape everyone.
And you'll fuck everyone.
And
You'll
you're
get
trying-
blowjobs.
wait,
You'll
and
get fucked
you're
up the
trying
ass, and
to
that's all fine because of some limited praxis of. It's bad because I say it's bad.
So you're trying to get people to think that you are like the arbiter of a good moral system?
Yes,
when
of course,
God
just
would-
like you.
Okay, but you would rape someone if God told you to.
And I'm sorry, wouldn't you rape somebody if it would save someone's life?
No.
Why not? Why is that
Because I'm
bad?
violating someone's personal autonomy.
But your personal autonomy, you said, could be violated based on a social contract.
Okay, well, I just answered your question.
Well, here, let's reduce it this way. Maybe we can try it this way. Right. There's a little tiny island off the coast of, well, it doesn't matter, but it's called Papua New Guinea. Inside of Papua New Guinea, you can look this up right now. Go ahead, Google it if you don't believe me. There exists a tribe called the Cum Warriors of Papua New Guinea. And here's what they do.
Did you say cum?
Yeah, cum. Every single morning, they go over to little tiny boys, and they mouth hump them and load them up. Load them up every day with jizz right in their mouth, right? And the kids actually demand it because it's a warrior rite of passage inside of that society. They do it. The kids demand it. It's part of their social contract. Not kidding. Look it up. If you don't believe me, you can look it up right now. Okay?
No, I believe you. I've heard this.
What are they doing that's wrong?
So, in my moral framework, I think pedophilia is wrong. In your moral
Why?
framework, if God told you to suck off a little boy's dick,
Yeah.
you would do it.
Yeah, why? Why is it wrong in your framework to have pedophilia? If it's part of the social contract.
Can you agree that you would suck a little boy's dick if God told you to?
Would you agree that you already suck
Wait, just say
boys'
yes.
dicks? No, of course not.
No, I wouldn't. Wait.
Of course not.
So you wouldn't?
No, that would be outside my preference.
Okay, so you're just completely full of shit and don't believe in anything you're actually saying.
What do you mean? I believe in everything that's my preference.
Do you actually believe in anything? Are you even actually religious?
Yeah, I believe in
I have to
everything
ask, are you
that's
actually
within my
religious?
preference, yeah.
Do you have any actual morals?
Yes, of course. Wait, actual morals? I just got done telling
Like,
you
do
that
you actually believe in anything you're saying?
fucking thing I prefer is moral, and you haven't been able to give me a single demonstrable argument for why it isn't. Not once.
I just got you to admit that if God told you to, if he commanded you to, you would suck a little boy's dick.
No, that
think we're
literally
good
never
to go to the
happened.
Q&A.
No, I think we're not, because that, by the way, that never even happened. I literally said no. And on top of that,
Oh, sorry. You would rape.
Yeah, that never happened
including
either.
little boys.
Can
if
you
God
go
told
back?
you to.
Can you go back to the Papua? Can you go back to the Papua New Guinea argument? Can you tell me why that's wrong for that culture to do that?
Before we do that, Andrew, I just want to go over our poll. So I'm gonna make a new poll for our live chat. We've had over 1,500 votes, 1,700 votes actually in our poll right now. So big appreciation to our live chat for your participation. If you have a moment, if you have thumbs that can hit the like button, do so. No matter where you're seeing this on the interwebs, we appreciate it. It boosts the algorithm up. Let's beat that algorithm.
Aren't you? I got a question. Aren't you a top earner on OnlyFans?
Top earner?
Yeah, like
Sure.
you earn. Yeah. So you have.
You sidestepped me before.
Hang on.
I
So you have a little bit. You have a little bit.
Wasn't Ryan speaking?
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know something popped into Andrew's head, and he wanted to get it hammered home, and it's okay. We appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. But the poll is at should explicit adult entertainment be banned? 60%.
You failed to engage.
Yes. 30%. Now you're interrupting. See?
Sorry, Ryan. Forgive me. Forgive me.
Who's better than you now? How could you? All right. So should explicit adult entertainment be banned? 60% said yes. 30% said no, and then 10% said, be right back, just need 5 minutes. Okay, well, hopefully you guys came back after your 5 minutes of fun. I'm going to close out the poll, and we're going to ask a similar question just to see where you guys are at after this conversation. But Andrew, you wanted to take us back into some
Yeah. So I assume you make a good living doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to make a $5,000 bet live right on air that you never got me to admit what you said you got me to admit, which is that I would suck a little boy's whatever when you asked me that question?
No, sorry, that was my mistake. You would rape people and murder people. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. So
including children.
So wait.
If God told you to.
So you lied.
Oh, wait. So then you wouldn't do
so you
something.
Lied.
No, you're lying about your moral framework.
Why?
You believe in divine command theory,
why
right?
did I
so
say?
Anything God says is moral.
Why did I say I do? Why did I say I do? Because it's within.
You believe in divine command
because
theory.
it's within what?
Your moral framework.
My preferences.
Yes, which is divine command theory.
But my preferences can change anytime, right?
No, you already said that your preferences are unchanging because you subscribe to divine command theory.
Would you like to make a $5,000 bet? That never happened.
That what never happened?
That I never said my moral preferences can never change because of divine command theory. You just lied again.
You said that you're unchanging. Yeah, you did.
I said my preferences are unchanging, right? Everything I think is moral is unchanging as long as it's part of my preferences, which is fine. I can change my preferences. It's still that unchanging standard is my preferences. Do you understand that?
So your moral framework is unchanging.
No, my preferences can change, right? But what is unchanging?
It's based on what God commands.
What is unchanging is everything within my preferences is what's moral. So if it is the case that it is moral,
because it's what God commands, correct?
As long as that's within my preferences.
Anything He commands is moral.
As long as it's within my preferences.
So you would go against God's commands?
If it wasn't in my preferences, of course.
So then the entire moral framework you're working off, where something is moral. So
what's my moral framework? What is it?
I'm literally in the middle of saying it.
I told you my moral framework is everything based on my preferences.
Wait, you're going to let me finish? So something is morally good because God commands it.
No, something's morally good if it's in my preference. Can you repeat this for me? Andrew's moral...
no, that's not what you said in the beginning.
Yes, I did.
That's not what you said.
I said I have an unchanging standard. My preferences.
Yes, you said that things are morally good because God commands them.
As long as it's within my preferences.
That was not what you said earlier.
It is what I said. Would you like to bet?
So you would go against God's commands.
As long as it's within my preferences.
Exactly. So then you're conceding that something is not morally good simply because God commands it.
No, it'd be morally good if it's within my preferences like yours.
Okay, can you be intellectually honest?
That's being intellectually honest. If it's within my moral preferences, it's good. What's wrong with that?
Why are you denying your own beliefs?
Denying what? What did I tell you? Everything within my preferences is what's moral, right?
You advocate for divine command theory, correct?
Sure, that's within my preference.
So then anything that God commands is morally good.
Unless it's not what?
So then that's not divine command theory.
What is divine command theory?
So that's what I just said.
What is it?
So something is morally good because God commands it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that something is morally good if God commands it, if it's within my preference.
Okay, well you've changed your answer then from when we
I haven't
first
changed anything.
Talked about that.
Everything all I want to know is this.
Oh wait, so then why earlier?
I've already answered. Hang on, I just answered 5 of your questions. Now answer one of mine. Why, other than your preferences, would any of that even be fucking bad? Why?
Why would your preferences be bad?
Yeah.
To me?
Other than your preferences.
Because your preferences lead to mass human suffering.
And that's just a preference you have. That human beings don't massively suffer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
and
then
just like yours is based on a preference.
So what makes your preferences better than my preferences?
Because I think we should not let human beings suffer.
Oh, I think we should. What makes yours better than that?
Yeah, I know you should.
What makes yours better than that?
Let the people decide for themselves.
Let the people decide. That's what makes them better. What makes you better?
So why earlier did you concede that if God commanded you to rape people, you would?
No, I said I would bite the bullet for this. I literally said I would bite the bullet for the sake of the argument, is what I said.
So you disagree with that now? Or?
No, I bit the bullet to ask you why would that even be bad, and you said just because it'd be against my preference.
Okay, so can you answer the question?
I already did.
Yeah.
Anything which is against my preferences, I'm against. Just like
so
you.
Then you don't actually care what God commands.
Well, wait. Of course I do. It's
You
within
don't
my
actually
preference.
have any real beliefs.
Yeah, of course I do. It's within my preference.
You don't actually have any real beliefs.
You're just making assertions. You don't actually have a brain in your head. You don't actually know what the fuck you're talking about. You're a fucking idiot. Like, we could go on and on and on, but can you demonstrate why any of my preferences are actually fucking bad, other than that you don't prefer them? Go ahead.
mean, yeah, we can just look at countries that have adopted fascism and see how that turned out.
Okay, let's talk
about Nazi Germany.
Sure, let's talk about Spain. It adopted fascism. How'd that work out?
I'm not familiar.
Oh, I'm sure you're not, but I thought you just said that countries that adopted fascism worked out bad for them.
I said, okay, yeah, but I specifically mentioned Nazi Germany.
What about it?
That it was not a good thing.
Oh, okay. Do you agree that Soviet Russia was not a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you agree that capitalists all over the world commit horrific genocides all the time?
Sure.
Okay, so then it sounds like all you're talking about is whatever political system, political theory you're talking about, it comes down to people doing whatever you think good thing is, right? Whatever that is. Like you could have a communist country that I don't know, like adhere to whatever your principle of not violating whatever the harm principle is. That would be good that they were communist then, if that led to that, right?
Like, as long as we're not violating people's personal autonomy,
then it's fine, right?
It's highly dependent on the situation.
Yeah, so let me just finish real quick with this. Okay? When the Spaniards got here, those evil Christians, they saw people getting sacrificed on top of a temple, and they killed all of them. Right? They killed all of these Indian sacrificing lunatics. Can you tell me why that was bad?
Because killing is bad.
Oh.
We should avoid that.
Got it.
Can you tell me why genocide is bad?
Because genocide is bad, so we should avoid it.
Why have you not answered a single question I've asked?
I just gave you the same answer you gave me.